What's up, everybody? Alex here, host of Jiu-Jitsu Radio. My co-host Shawn couldn't be with us this week because he's up in Orlando for the IBJJF Pants. He's got to coach his guys. My team's up there as well. So good luck to Team Excel and to Team Temple and to all the teams that are competing. I hope you guys have a blast. Stay safe. I hope my people come back with a gold. But, you know, if you're people that aren't in our bracket, come back with a gold. Awesome to you guys too. So good luck to everybody. Like I said, stay safe, have some fun, and leave it all on the mats, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be watching and supporting everybody and anxious to see some awesome jiu-jitsu. Before we get the party started, as always, want to give a big shout out to our sponsors, Giraffe Choke, Choke Aloha, and Jiu-Jitsu Soap Co. If you guys want to pick up some of the dopest gear and get hooked up with that homie hookup, check out the description in the video below, or you can check out the podcast description if you're listening to us on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon. Yeah, that's right. We're on Amazon Music now. So, appreciate the support. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, right? Or hit the notification bell if you're watching on YouTube. You know, share it. Hit the share button. Support us. It does actually help out a lot, more than a lot of people know. The more you share the podcast, the more we get out there, and obviously it helps us grow even more. And listen, we don't make any money. We do this for the love of it. We're never trying to really sell you anything. It's just all for the love of the sport, man. So all the support you can give us, we appreciate it. Also, big shout out to everyone that was following us and checked out the behind the scenes at the photo shoot this past weekend that I did with Linton Vassell from Bellator, the #1 contender for the Bellator heavyweight division. If you missed out, listen, that's on you. Make sure you follow Jiu-Jitsu Radio on Instagram. You can follow me at Sonder Marketing. You can follow Shawn at Gorilla Boy BJJ. All on Instagram. We're always posting up fun stuff. We got a lot more awesome content coming up in the weeks to come. Obviously, the goal this past few weeks has been pans. So make sure you follow us. Now, if you're ready to have some fun, a good friend of mine finally decided to come back to the podcast. He is a friend / mentor / call me out on my shit guy. Great friend of mine. I've learned so much from him. Former ADCC head ref, Jiu-Jitsu black belt, all around bad mofo, Carlos Diaz. What's up, everybody? Listen, the homeboy Shawn's not here, but today I got a good friend of mine back once again on the podcast. I can't even speak English today. My good brother, the ADCC ref himself, Carlos Diaz. Carlos, what's happening, brother? It's been a while.
What's happening, guys? Good to be back, man. It's awesome. Cheers. And man, listen, it's great to be back on the podcast.
Let me ask you real quick. What is up with that paddle in the background?
Oh, that's actually an award that some friends gave to me. Actually, one of the guy that made it is a military award from my unit and time in service and the whole shebang.
That's awesome.
But do you know Grandino Cole? He actually made it. You know, he got I'm gonna have to hang this up later.
I messed it up.
It's all good, man. But he's very skilled and real handy like that. And a group of friends got together and got a little plaque and a little stuff written into it, and it was really cool.
That's awesome. I thought it was like because we have Hispanic heritage here, so that's usually something else if that's hanging on the wall.
He has seen its fair share of disciplinary action as well. So yes,
what's funny is
multi-purpose tool.
That everybody's got something different. Like for me, my parents are Argentinian, so obviously they're all about horses. So in my house, it was there's a like when they train wild horses, you don't just get like a little like bullwhip. No, they have a club that's about like 2 inches thick of raw leather, hard leather, like around a piece of wood, and then the belt itself. So that's like 2 inches like wide, and about like 1.5 feet long. And that's what they use to train the horses. That's what was hanging in my parents' house. So when I see that, I'm like, oh, someone's dishing out ass whippings for sure out there.
I got some stuff that I'll show you later here as I've never used them as disciplinary tools, but they're for sure intimidating.
So wait, so what's the paddle supposed to symbolize for us
So I
non-initiated?
was in the United States Marine Corps in a special operations unit, amphibious reconnaissance and air naval liaison gunfire company. And one of the things that Marines are known for, is kind of one of the tools of the trade, is at the part of being amphibious, you have to be comfortable in the water as well. So it's kind of like one of those things. Usually for special operation guys, instead of a plaque, you get a paddle.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you've had your fair share in ice cold water.
Oh man, I tell you what, if you want me to tell you how cold the North Sea is in the middle of November, it's cold, man.
So it's funny you bring it up because Batman Omega Denzel, he like trained over at Jocko. So I said the same joke to him today. I didn't tell him the story. So when I was on one of the music tours, like, I mean, I'm a big fan of the Marines. I never signed up. I was about to enlist, and then it was like I realized I wasn't really going to get to go anywhere because I was like obviously immigrant and I still wasn't a full-on resident at the time. So, but I love the Marines. So I bought a USMC like Marine Corps shirt, like rocking. I was like, but I always felt guilty wearing it. I was like, man, I feel like this is like a form of stolen valor. Like someone's going to call me out on this shit for sure. I'm like, but it can't be. I'm just showing respect. Whatever. Still had the shirt, loved the shirt. So one of the stops on the tour was Annapolis.
Okay, in Virginia,
which is naval.
Yeah.
It's all Navy. I had no clue. So, so I'm walking.
How many fights did you get into?
No, listen, it gets way better. This is to show you, like, I will fully take responsibility for my ignorance and my stupidity, but I'm a wanderer. So anytime I travel, like, I got to just go around, see what's going on. So mind you, nobody has told me that this is Navy country. All right. No one's told me any of this. So I'm just walking around, nice, like down Main Street. And then I see this hotel and I see all this stuff's going on. There's a naval wedding going on. And I just walked into the hotel because it was a nice hotel. So I walk in, everybody is in full uniform. I'm like, that's cool. Still totally oblivious that this is like all Navy.
Awesome.
Like, cool. This is really nice. I'm like, I don't want to bother, like, not trying to crash, just checking out. And then I walk away. And then as I walk down the street, this guy stops me. He's like, you got a lot of balls wearing that around here. And I had nothing to say. Like, it was starting to click in. And I say, hey, we're all fighting for the same cause here. That's all I can say.
But listen, the one good saving grace is, even though we hate to admit it as Marines, the Marine Corps is part of the Department of the Navy.
Yeah.
So, we're kind of like the little bastards that nobody really likes unless you really need them.
Yeah.
So
when shit needs to get handled, they know who to call.
Yeah, you got to be a little thick-skinned if you're going to be wearing around a USMC shirt around a Navy area. So.
Right. I mean, listen, like, I would still do it for sure. I'm always going to represent like the armed forces in one way or another. I'm just a fan of the Marines, but I definitely learned my lesson. I haven't worn that shirt since, as much as I want to. I'm like, man, it's such a dope ass shirt. It's a dope logo. I'm like, I can't wear it though. Like, come on, man, just give me, but it's one of those memories that, it's like you always see the meme, like where you wake up at 3:00 in the morning and you remember that one embarrassing moment in your life. Yeah, that's definitely one of them. Like, why couldn't I come up with something cooler to say to at least defend myself?
Listen, you got out of trouble.
Right. And listen, I ended up loving it there. Like the bars, everybody was super cool, was super nice. We went out drinking. There's a whole other stories that I have for that night alone. But listen, it was a blast.
Annapolis is cool, man. It's a really cool town. Full of history.
Good food, man. There's some good food there. First time I ever walked in, which, listen, maybe they lose their main card a little bit, but they had a tea house. Never knew that was a thing.
Yeah.
So, whatever. Still good.
Check your main card in the gate.
Listen, whatever, man. I lost it when I didn't even realize I was in Navy country wearing a Marine shirt.
Awesome.
So
That's
I'm I'm gonna be that self snitch. So what have you been up to, man? It's been a while. I saw you got the tournament you're working on. Like, what's going on with that?
Yes. So I'm part of a company called B2 Digital. Letter B as in boy, number 2 digital, and they're a conglomerate. And what they have been doing for some time now, they own about 6, 7 different mixed martial arts shows all over the Midwest. They have events in Kentucky, Ohio, Kansas, Indiana, Michigan, Illinois, and they wanted to start a grappling event, a grappling tournament, and they wanted to do it right. And I've been in talks with them for a long time. I know a couple of the principals guys for many years. Actually, one of them has worked with me in the past in some of the ADCC events in Trenton, in Los Angeles, and they reached out to me and told me, "Hey, man, would you like to be a part of this?" And we can create this, and it would literally be from the beginning. This is going to be our second event on November 14th over here at the Florida Mall Convention Center, which is a really cool venue, very unique. But it's going to be our second event. We had our first event in Hammond, Indiana, about 2-3 weeks ago, and it was pretty good. We had a really good turnout, believe it or not. And we're really excited about having this event in Florida, which is one of the hotbeds of Jiu-Jitsu.
So you know what I'm going to ask you next.
Shoot.
What's the rule set?
Man, this is what's really cool about it. And I don't know if you done your research. You usually do good research, but it's super simple. That was one of the things that we gave a lot of thought to. We didn't want it to be a confusing rule set. Oh, did that person go to half guard, or did he get pulled into half guard? And was that a valid submission or not? No, man, it's simple. Takedowns 2 points, guard pass 3, knee on the stomach 2, front mount, back mount 4 points. That's it. No advantages, nothing in the gray area. Yes, there's got to be some control on the certain positions, and there's a couple of different things when it comes to, obviously the different colors of belts and scales, but also we do gi and no gi. So the no gi, we kind of break it down on time and experience, because you can have a Division 2, Division 1 wrestler come in and try to enter the novice division. It shouldn't be. So there are some differences. For example, pretty much all leg attacks are allowed on the expert and advanced divisions. So again, but they're very simple. Super simple.
Advanced, what do you level advanced at? Like purple and
5 years and above.
5 years and above. Okay.
Absolutely.
That's cool. So every leg attack is legal.
Yep.
Man. I think that's animals like Shawn and I would definitely be down to go against the bigger animals that have been doing that forever. But I think a lot of people get scared on those rule sets, and that's even better.
This is the thing, and this is very simple, in my opinion, very simple to understand. If you have been training for at least 5 years,
you should know.
You should know to tap.
Okay, so you said no advantages.
Nope.
So
you either get it or you don't.
Right. So now, what do you do on a tie? It's just a draw. What are you going to do?
So if there is a tie, there will be an immediate overtime. So the match ends 0-0. We will start, and let's say, and this is hypothetically, that the match is 6 minutes long. So we're going to have a 3-minute, full 3 minutes. There's no sudden death. It's a full 3 minutes. If that overtime finishes 0-0 again, then the referee will choose on aggression and intent of finish.
Nice. I like that. What about stalling?
There's stalling. There's, the referee will determine, the time of stalling, if, which person is active, because guess what? You can be a bottom player while the top player is trying to pass and trying to get some action going. and you could be the bottom player stalling, or vice versa. So that's going to be the referee's discretion. You get 2 warnings, and then after that, there's also point deductions.
So 2 warnings, and then you start deducting points from the staller.
Correct. And then, of course, depending on the division, there's obviously certain forbidden moves, and you could be disqualified from the match.
That's awesome. I love that. That's always been my biggest like pet peeve. Like, I learned my lesson about going up against like stallers, and you know, obviously I've done my fair share of stalling too at certain occasions, but listen, I'm just playing with the rule sets that were
right.
given to me, you know, so I'm just going to leave it at that. But I've always tried to sit there and figure out the way to get out of it. So for you to cut that off, that's awesome.
Yeah, no. And you see it a lot sometimes in some events, even though the rules are set to look for the submission. You'll have guys that just try to run the clock.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just going to win it on the
2
overtime.
points, and then I got to stall out for another 4 minutes.
Or 0-0. They know they still only have a minute left. They're going to try to run the clock and try to win on the overtime.
Or get the advantage. All I need is the advantage, and I'm good.
Well, guess what? There's no advantages.
That's awesome, though. I love that. I think that's becoming more and more of the trend, it seems. And the other one that's coming up more, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Third Coast Grappling is the one that started it, but they started introducing the yellow card and the red card.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think about that? I mean, obviously not for your tournament, but I'm saying in general.
No, it's not a bad idea. I think from an official standpoint, from officiating the event, there's, again, for the rules that I've read, I'd never sat in one of the rules in an official rules meeting, so I don't know all the exact details. But the rules that I've read and the people that I've spoken to, there's a little bit of openness to interpretation, and that's what I don't like. Right. I like things to be black and white.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to jiu-jitsu on our sport, the less gray area we have, the better.
Well, that's why, like, you even see like IBJJF has started to do like the little video clips trying to explain to people like why they get certain points in certain positions. And even
and I think those videos are fun. And you and I, we worked in the past a little bit trying to put some stuff similar to that together. But
and I have that video still, by the way.
Awesome. But yeah, I love the video clips. That's something that, with B2 Digital and B2 Grappling Series, we're going to do. We're going to do the videos of, this is what this points will call for, and this is good and this is not good. And just to clarify things, especially nowadays, we have the technology to do it. Why not use it?
Yeah, definitely do it, especially like introducing the tournament down here to everybody. So what's been the response so far?
We have a lot of interest. We just signed up our first feature match, which is going to be Professor Renato Tavares versus Professor Jim White from Soul Fighters in Tallahassee.
Nice. So
these are 2 old school guys that always go for the kill. That's what I love it. They're old school, so you're not going to see a lot of you probably won't see a lot of beating bolos on this particular match.
Listen, I don't get surprised by anything that like Professor Tavares does, so I wouldn't be surprised.
And listen, and I don't know if if you know Jim White, Dylan White, his father, he's just like Professor Tavares, man. Those guys go for the jugular right off the rip. So it's going to be a fun match for sure. And we got some other matches that are in the works of getting some details.
Come on. Give me hints. Come on. Sprinkle a little bit of that sauce.
I'm working to bring a guy from Texas versus a guy from Florida. See? I'll leave it at that.
See, that's all you gotta say. That's all you gotta give me. Just give a brother a little help here. That's good. So what do you what's the plans as far as like the brackets and stuff like that? Are you going to do like absolute? Are you going to do like awards, like money prize? Like what's the setup?
We have some compensation for the feature matches, but we have those very limited. It is an open tournament. So yeah, there's medals, there's awards. Right now, until we get the general public acclimatized to the rules, acclimatized to the event, and grow a little bit of the following and the base, then we will begin with the absolute divisions. I personally love absolute divisions because you see always up and coming superstars in absolute divisions.
Yeah.
We are not doing it this time, but we will. That's something that has been discussed, with the principals of the company, and we're really excited to do it. And listen, we're a public traded company, so B2 Digital, it's a public traded company. And
That's a hint of stocks and bonds, my friend. Stocks and
facts,
bonds.
facts, and that's something that
Diversified.
everybody can be a part of. And the more of us are a part of it, obviously, the more it grows for everybody.
Right. No, that's awesome. I'm gonna have to look that up now then. So I mean, it makes sense too. I mean, I would, if I were in your shoes, I would have made the same decision, especially like on that first tournament here in South Florida. Like you don't want to sit there and try and throw a big absolute just yet. You got to give people a reason to come back for more and get excited
Absolutely.
for the match.
Yeah. And this is the other reason why, we have a couple of sponsorship programs in the works, and whenever we finalize those, I want to be able to give something substantial to the guys competing on the absolute division.
So can we get a giant like Jiu-Jitsu radio logo on the mat? How much is that going to cost a brother?
We'll get off the air and we'll talk about that later.
All right, I'm cool with that. I'll throw it up on there. I'm going to be up there regardless. One way or another, I'll be up there. So it'll be good. Yeah. So November 14th, what's that, Saturday or Sunday?
That is a Saturday. And we're doing weigh-ins Friday and Saturday.
So, okay, but you're not going to have to weigh in twice.
Nope.
Okay.
So if you are smart and you're one of those guys that's cutting a little bit of weight, come Friday, you heavy Saturday.
It's always blown my mind how many guys don't take advantage of that.
Listen, some people like doing it, especially here in Florida. We got a lot of MMA fighters, a lot of guys that, might be 3 to 5 pounds off the weight class, and they'll be willing to cut down a little bit of weight. I'm all for that. It's part of the game.
Listen, like I can easily get back 15 pounds. So I could definitely go from 220 down to 200. Especially
during quarantine.
Well, no, that is usually the other way. No, for sure. But I mean, it makes more sense like to sit there and do that. Like, why wouldn't they do that? It was just whatever. Listen, man, easy win. I'll just. Yeah.
But then again, if you go to a lighter weight, you're going to be there with faster guys, usually a little bit more technical, a little bit more flexible. So there's
give and take for sure. There's give and take. But I mean, listen, there's a reason why they called Shaquille O'Neal the big wall. Wall. You're coming into the big wall here. Actually, it's funny. I actually did better staying up at the heavyweight. I stopped cutting down weight. I'm staying at the big boy weight. I'm not cutting.
I'm at an age that I really don't care for weight, so whatever. I like.
So are you gonna compete? Are you gonna be doing?
No, man, no. I don't. I'm a believer. When you're working, you're working. I can't.
Yeah, but an exhibition
hard to work
match.
And play at the same time.
Listen, I'll cover you at the table. You go and get your I'll sit here. I'll ref. You compete. Go for it. Right. Awesome. So who are you gonna get reffing? Do you have people in mind already?
Yeah, we got a couple of guys. We have a couple of local guys that are going to be reffing, and we're also going to be bringing some guys that are permanent fixtures in our staff. These guys, again, some of the guys have worked already at our first event in Hammond, Indiana. These guys that they know what they're doing, and me, that's reffing. I take that to heart. So it is the most unappreciated. But perhaps one of the most stressful jobs during an event. So I make sure that those guys know what they're doing.
So for those that are new to the podcast and haven't listened to the episodes that we've had Carlos on, he was the former head ref for ADCC, and he's my go-to for any time where I'm like, this was a bullshit call, right? So I'll literally text Carlos. Man, I'll say randomly, like, I think I cut off at like 10. I try not to bother you after 10 o'clock at night, but it'd be like, come on, 4 points, right? Takedown. Was this a slam? This was a slam. Like, nope, that was legit. Like, man, you don't know what you're talking about. I'll be honest with you. There's times where after like you give me the answer, I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Like I don't believe you.
Yeah.
So what's the because I'm curious, obviously, you and I have always had like a big passion on improving the game and especially for tournaments and things like that. So for something like this, when you have that full control, what's your first approach when you're going after like the referee aspect of everything?
There's three things that are very important to me. One, the willingness to learn and understand the rule set. Um, one of the things that when I've reached a couple of the local guys, for example, oh, is it going to be IBJJF rules? No, it's not IBJJF. They got their thing. The pans will be this weekend. That's their rule set. Fantastic, whatever. But no, it's not. Oh, is it going to be ADCC? Because everybody knows me, a lot of people from ADCC. No, this is not ADCC. This is a very simple rule set. So again, it's the adaptability to be able to understand the rules, which are very simple. Number two, being impartial. I don't care who you train with. That's irrelevant to me. But I want you to ref the match, not the fighters, not the competitors. A lot of times it's hard, and that goes along with the character and the individual. One of the things, somebody else asked me this question yesterday, as a matter of fact, if there's someone competing that I have whatever affiliation or relationship with, I will recluse myself from that match.
I've seen you do it. Yeah, I've seen you do it like plenty of times.
And I'll give you an example. I'll use a perfect example. Wagner Hoaka. I know Wagner since he was probably 14, 15 years old. And we used to train together when we both started jiu-jitsu. And I consider him a friend. So if at any event, Wagner happens to compete on my mat, and it has happened in the past, I'll go to the table. It happened in ADCC West Coast trials in 2017, 2015, right before the Finland ADCC Worlds. And there were 2 times that I excused myself and I said, let me get another ref. Hold on for a second. I'll be right back, and got another ref. So that's really important to me. And also experience. Experience is important because there's a lot of intricate details in our sport. And if you don't know what you're looking at, it's going to be very difficult to be able to understand and determine this is points, this is not points. And, this is a legitimate move, and that move is going to take from this point on another. And you need that experience is also needed for the safety of the athletes, which is really important. If an inexperienced ref may be looking, and I'll use the most simple example that I can think of. If somebody is attacking the right arm Kimura, and you're just paying attention to that arm, you may be missing where the person is tapping with the left. Yeah. So, and that's as simple as I can put it.
I mean, even like
that's really important,
especially if you get in a weird transition, like maybe they were like escaping the omoplata, they went to into side control. They might not be looking at the fact that the arm is trapped in a bicep slicer. They're still looking over the opposite grip and stuff.
Right, 100% correct.
So, have you ever? I mean, this is just me being curious now. Have you ever had like a situation where to you it looked like one of your refs for like other tournaments or whatever in the past, or guys you've seen like that was a favoritism call? Like, you ever like had that for like something? I'm just curious.
Have I seen it before? Yes.
Well, I mean, like with like events that you've worked at, where you had to be like, hold on, no, that's not the call we're making.
Not favoritism, but mistakes. Yes. Yeah. Favoritism, not really.
Yeah, the mistakes thing is kind of like a big one. That one can get like super tough. And I think some people are changing the rule set and it's actually making it worse. Like it's creating more mistakes when it should be the other way around, making it so it's less mistakes.
And one of the things that I've been focusing with the B2 grappling series is that we want to be able to provide an experience for everyone involved. And I take this from my personal journey in the sport is I've been a fan, I am a fan as a spectator. I've been in the athlete's point of view. I've been at the referee's point of view. I've been at the table worker's point of view, the promoter's point of view. And I want to make it an enjoyable experience for everybody. Am I going to achieve that goal? I hope so. That's my goal. That's what I would like to happen. I want everybody to have a good time at fair matches, fair officiating throughout your matches, and have fun, and for a very reasonable price too. So everybody wins.
So are you going to do any kind of like ref certification like the day before kind of thing or no?
No, but I am going to do an in-depth rules right before the event. So we will start with the kids at 9:30 in the morning. So I'm going to do a rules at 9 a.m. And then we're going to take a quick brief intermission. We'll do the feature matches in between, and then we'll start with the adults at 12, and I'll do another rules meeting just for the adults.
That'd be good. Did you watch the King of Combat tournament we did?
I watched bits and pieces, yes.
Because like if you would have been there for the beginning, there was a couple of situations where we had to kind of reel everybody in and be like, no, this is this. Like, yeah, there was a couple of good situations.
But your guys' event was a submission only, right?
Yeah, but then we also had the combat jiu-jitsu like portions of it. And
see that part I didn't get to see.
Yeah, no, oh man, you got to go back and watch it. I got to send you. There was one guy, I want to say his name was Daniel. And it was genius. I don't know why. I've never seen it before. Maybe I just didn't pay attention to it, but it was so good. His technique, obviously we know the rule for combat jiu-jitsu, it's got to be a down opponent, right?
Right.
So the rule set is if someone has 3 points of contact on the floor, they count as a downed opponent, then you can strike. Either party can strike. It doesn't say who's the one that has to be on the 3 points of contact, right? So both feet and a knee down, that's 3 points of contact.
Correct.
So,
but here's the thing, though, and again, this is where the clarification has to be made. Who can strike? The person
that's what I'm saying.
Or both individuals?
Both.
Okay.
Both. So that was that was where the confusion was for a split second. So again, apologize if I get the name wrong, but Daniel, so the two guys are facing off. Out of nowhere, he just drops to one knee and just racks him in the face. Shawn and I
he's the person down.
Right, but they're both standing. So he literally just dropped down to one knee.
He just took a knee and swatted the guy right
and got right back up.
He played with the rules.
Right. So that's a total, like, that's why I like it, because it's like a total Wagner Rocha like movie. He's like, he studies the rules so well. But like when we saw it, Shawn and I just had to like, like just jaw dropped, and everybody froze. Like, no, you can't do that. Like, yes, you can. Like, and so it became a little like, and then he did it again, but hard slap. I'm gonna find it. I'll get you just the highlights, just of that.
That'd be awesome.
But then, like,
no, listen, I love it. And again, that's part of being a smart guy. And you know, a couple of athletes come to mind when you talk about people that know how to play with the rules. First and foremost, the legendary guy that knows and study the rules, Jeff Monson.
Yeah.
You know,
he played him to the T.
To the T. Yeah. You know, another guy that's really good about playing. Once he learned the rules, Gordon Ryan.
Yeah.
You know, Gordon is really, really smart guy, and you can see how he played with the rules really well versus Buchecha at the ADCC finals.
So speaking of which, it's funny that you bring that up. You saw what happened today, right? Between Gordon and Cyborg.
Absolutely.
So for those of you who haven't been keeping up today, granted, I guess the podcast will come out tomorrow, so you guys will have a chance to catch up. Cyborg called Gordon out, saying that, listen, we didn't call him out, but it basically called him out respectfully, saying, ADCC is my goal.
It was a reaction to an action, in my opinion.
Yeah, I could go with that. But basically, Cyborg stated that ADCC is his goal, and he wants to prepare for ADCC, and who better than to go up against than ADCC champion Gordon Ryan. So he proposed an ADCC rule set against Gordon, which we know Gordon loves the ADCC rule set. But he replied with, I'm all down for it, but we need to make sure if we're doing an ADCC rule set that we have ADCC refs, because it is very easy to get the ADCC rule set confused. Now, this has been a hot topic for you and I for a long, long time.
Correct.
So it's kind of like a multi-tiered, almost like question or investigation. So again, for people that don't know, and obviously, Carlos, you're going to know better than I, but ADCC rules are vague to a certain extent for a reason, and they're not open to the public on the rule set like portion of like the actual explanation the day before the matches, which kind of adds a little bit to the magic of the whole event. So I'll let you loose and you tell me where I got it wrong, and then we'll get into the why someone would do this.
You're right, but you're wrong at the same time.
I get that a lot.
This is where you are right.
Okay. I love hearing that part.
The part that you are right is that they're not as open and out there as maybe some of the other rule sets in the sport. Where you're wrong is that they are out there.
Right.
They are explained thoroughly. And furthermore, all it takes is a very quick web search, and the rule sets are in black and white in detail in a PDF file. So with that being said, every ADCC official, every official ADCC event, the trials and the world championships, the day before, there is a free referee seminar, which every attendee gets a certificate of completion. Okay. And that's usually given by Peter Batalski, who's the head ADCC judge. I've given several of them along with Peter as his uke, and assist them throughout them. And they are very, very in depth. They usually take about anywhere between an hour to 2 hours long.
Yeah, how I missed that one, I don't know. I still kick myself for it.
Again, it's always done before the trials or world championships.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we cover every possible aspect and technique. Now, the rules, it takes that long because the rules are complex. There are certain circumstances and scenarios that if you are not thoroughly familiar with the rule set, it could be easily misconstrued. It could be, that was not a takedown. Who initiated the takedown? Who ended up on top? Was it within the margin of the mat? Did the referee say stop before they go out of the mat? Did the referee say stop at the point of exit of the mat? Did the person maintain control for a count of 3 or more? Was that control? Was it not control? And again, there's a couple of intricacies that it is the reason why, at the world championships, it's usually just a very select handful of people that, the organizers and the head people at ADCC will select for those people to sit at the table as a judge. And note that I said to sit at the table as a judge, because in ADCC it's a little different. The person keeping score and officiating is not the man on the mat. That person's on the mat assist, but the person keeping the score is the man on the table.
Yeah.
Because you need your undivided attention.
Well, I remember being there for the one last year where the one ref made a couple of big mistakes and he got demoted from the mat off to like the table. So
yeah,
I remember,
probably. I mean, if somebody makes several mistakes, I mean, again, these guys, they don't play, and
yeah,
likely you just became a timekeeper.
See, like for the most part, to me, the ADCC rules are the most clear, I think. But then in my aspect, obviously, I have you as a reference for a lot of the stuff, and then I also watch a lot more than like the average person as far as like understanding the rule set. So I get it. So now let's get into the second part of it, because obviously the what's the word I'm looking for, the attention that Gordon Ryan gets and the buzz around the whole thing. People a lot of times, like, you'll see the arguments on the comments section and stuff where people are saying like, oh, well, why does it have to be ADCC submission only? Like, if you're that good, you should be able to do it in 10 minutes or this, that, and the other. And people don't really understand, like you said, the complexity of the ADCC rule set as to why it plays out much better instead of than, for example, EBI. Like, I've seen more mistakes in tournaments with EBI rule set than any, man. If you added up all the IBJJF tournaments that I've been to personally, EBI, any event with EBI rules had more like mistakes in one night than all those.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's a lot of parts in motion on a match of this magnitude. You're talking about the top two guys in the world. That's really what it comes down to. Okay, you got Roberto Cyborg Abreu on one side, who has been winning everything in 2019. And before 2019, the guy's a legendary status. He's won everything with the gi. He's won everything no gi. I mean, there's the guy. He's in my opinion is at that level. And then you have Gordon Ryan, who is the most talked about guy because he creates the most commotion on social media, but he backs it up.
Yeah.
And he undisputed without the gi. He, in my opinion, he's the best guy in the world. You know, to include, he's faced Cyborg 2 times before. One time Cyborg got disqualified at the no gi worlds, and then he faced Cyborg one time before in ADCC, and he submitted Cyborg with a reverse heel hook. So these are the 2 top guys in the world. So there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of decisions and things that occur for a match of that magnitude to happen. And if you're going to provide a particular rule set, you want to make sure that everything is going to be right and everything is going to be done proper. So these guys have the most fair level playing ground possible.
Well, I mean,
if that makes sense.
No, for sure. And I think that's a common misconception too. When people start talking about rule set, they're like, oh, well, it's EBI rules, ADCC rules, or IBJJF rules, or whatever set of rules. But when it comes to ADCC rules, like you said, it has to be a specific caliber of referee, and you also have to have the same numbers of referees to sit there and do that. So that's something that people don't understand. But why do you think that Gordon prefers that rule set that much more? I mean, obviously Cyborg has more than enough experience at that rule set, and he's again one of those guys that knows how to play by the rules, like, and knows how to stretch the rules to his favor in so many situations. But why is it something that these guys at such a high level are like live or die by that rule set?
Let's be honest, it's the most prestigious, if any, no gi grappling. Bottom line. That's the crude answer to it. The other part of that answer is Cyborg and Gordon Ryan probably know the rules. And again, it goes back to our prior conversation about athletes that study the rules. Cyborg and Gordon Ryan probably knows the rules for ADCC better than, probably just maybe 20 guys in the world.
Yeah.
And by the 20 guys in the world that I'm referring to, I'm talking about all the ref judges that are official for ADCC. Other than those guys, these are 2 of the guys that know the rules the best.
So when you were saying that if you go to that rules meeting, you get like a certification.
You get a certificate of completion.
Okay, that's what I was saying.
You
I was
don't
about
get
to
a
say. I
you're not a
was about to say,
certified.
did I just become an ADCC ref? What's up?
No, so I will tell you this. If somebody does want to become an official ADCC ref, attend the rules class, complete it, and then approach one of the head referees and tell them, listen, I would like to be part on one of the ADCC events. And more than likely, you'll probably get put as a floor ref at one of the trials. And again, as you gain experience, but I'll give you an example. I've been working with ADCC in 2000 for nearly 22 years.
Yeah.
You know, and again, I love ADCC. ADCC has a very special place in my heart. So, and I'll never stop. And as long as they'll have me back, I'll continue to work with them, and I'll do everything to the best of my abilities.
So what if I want to get certified to be a B2 referee?
Then we'll send me an email and we'll talk about it.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. I would never, ever want to be an IBJJF ref. Maybe like for a combat jiu-jitsu ref, I would love like MMA. Like it actually would be kind of fun to be like an MMA ref, like Mike Cardoso or whatever. But ADCC, having ADCC ref up on the resume list would be pretty fun. I would suffer a little bit to get to that for sure.
Few years.
Yeah, man. I mean, it'd be fun. Listen, at the end of the day, there's less chance of stalling happening over at ADCC now because like the tweaks and stuff that were made in the rule set. We're not trying to get the Chandra Ribeiro like sprawl out, like doesn't count as a takedown, kind of setup. Right. So it'd be worth it to me, like, because I'm not gonna sit there and be bored. Like I'm gonna get to watch amazing like matches, but then to sit there and say one day get to the point where like shit, I can be a referee at ADCC World Championships, man, that'd be dope.
And and just one thing, and a lot of people don't know this because a lot of other events you can ref and compete. Once you become an official ADCC ref, you pretty much hung up your competition shorts at least for ADCC.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I know my limitations. Would I love to compete at the trials? For sure. Do I think I'm making it into World Championships? I can't afford enough acai for that to happen.
Acai and Jesus.
Yeah, let's just leave it at that. So the B2, like, because you and I always talk about like the tournaments and things like that's going on. Like, but yeah, I would definitely sit there and if you had something set up and whatever certifications and stuff, it'd be cool to sit there and at least help out when
we don't. And again, this is something that we are planning to go alongside with the absolute division. But I will definitely, if anybody is interested, I will definitely hold a referees workshop is the best wording that I can think of. And I would love to do it on maybe Friday afternoon, Friday evening, for anybody that is interested. And, we'll take it from that point on forward. But one of the things is, for example, like I mentioned before, we're bringing guys that have worked with us before. Yeah. So this is not just going to be a gig of, it's only going to be when we do it in Florida. Or
you're not fucking around.
If you show me that you are worth it enough, and again, I hold my refs to pretty high standards. Listen, you'll go on the road with us because again, we are taking this event on the road. We just did our first one in Hammond, Indiana. We're doing our second one here on November 14th in Orlando. We're going to do probably another one in Chicago, Illinois coming up next. We're going to take it to Texas. We're looking at a couple of different venues and cities that we're looking to take the event. So we're going to be doing this nationwide.
Are you going to add any combat jiu-jitsu?
Not right now.
Come on.
Not right now. Eventually, there is a possibility. But then understand, if you want to smack somebody in the face, we do have the mixed martial arts event. So,
I like that. And what's funny is when we did the King of Combat, I was like, I was asking Herbert, like, well, who are we going to get to referee? I remember, like, I brought you up and stuff. And then, like, who's refereeing the combat jiu-jitsu? It's like, oh, Marcelo. Like, perfect. Who better than the combat jiu-jitsu champ over here to be refereeing the combat jiu-jitsu match? So it was good. It was actually, again, where it comes up to standards, like you say, it's like when we talk about it, it's like there's certain people that are, there's different levels, especially when it comes to refereeing, but competitors that know the rule set and can play with the rule set are going to be good referees because they're going to be able to say, no, that's allowed, that's not, and they'll be able to do it on the fly.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
So they'll have that speed. So that's cool, man. I'm looking forward to it. So I'll definitely be there. I'll probably get there Friday during the day and then come and bug you while you're trying to work.
Yeah, man, it'll be my pleasure to have you. It's never a bug.
Are you gonna have Laborio come out at all?
I would love to have Master Liborio come out, man. I mean,
that'd be great to see him. I'd love to see like some of his students compete too.
Yeah. So I've reached out and I gave all the guys he's well now during the whole situation with the COVID, but he was teaching a credited class at the University of Central Florida for Jiu-Jitsu. And I attended one of the classes, and man, you put your gi on and warm-ups and the whole shebang, just like a regular class.
Yeah.
And it was pretty awesome to see growing. I remember when in Florida, there was probably 5-7 black belts max
in the entire state,
in the whole state of Florida. When I started, I started with Pablo Popovich. That's probably how many black belts we had in the entire legitimate Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts in the entire state. Now you can have 7 black belts in one class.
That's funny you brought up his name. I was talking about him the other day. You still talk to him? Yeah. You still talk to him?
Yeah, I saw him. I saw him not long ago. We actually crossed paths at the airport, and then I saw him and we chit-chatted for a good while at the ADCC West Coast trials.
All right. We're going to have to talk off the air about that because I got a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
He's got some of the crazy. It's like the stories that I've heard about him are so crazy. And like the last thing I ever really heard about him was the whole situation that happened down at his school in Deerfield or whatever. So, but yeah, I got a couple of questions for you. Yeah, but I mean, I'd be great to see some of Laborio's students from the college program in there. It'd be awesome to see.
Oh yeah, I love to see a couple of those guys, do it.
So what else you got planned for that? I mean, I'm gonna just point out the elephant in the room. You got that Mission 22 hat on. Are they gonna be
always? Yeah, man. Listen, I'm a huge supporter of Mission 22 and everything that they do for the veterans. And it's fortunately it's still not 22 a day like it used to be, but unfortunately, this whole pandemic thing has brought up a whole different bag of issues and people being more isolated, reporting less mental health issues. So, anytime anybody has an issue, don't lock yourself up, man. Reach out. We're here to help. So
yeah, that's for sure. Mission 22 does a lot to help out the veterans. So we've always been big supporters and promoters of them. So it'd be cool if you can sit there and do something for them there too. So if there's anything I can help on there, just let me know. It'd be cool to get them out there. I think there's probably, there's probably a couple other organizations that would probably be pretty good that you might have known or might have heard of that I did some work with in the past that they're pretty cool. So that's something that I know I've spoken to Shawn about before in the past, like something that we want to try and push, at least for the podcast, to do more of. Mission 22 wasn't really happy with our language, but they like our podcast. That's basically what I leave it to.
They're pretty formal.
Yeah, so I respect that. 100% respect that. I'm not for everybody.
Yeah.
And for sure Shawn isn't, but we still support him 100%. But there's definitely some cool stuff that I want to run past you to see what we can do to help out.
For sure.
So you're gonna totally leave me hanging, huh? You're not gonna compete? Come on.
Me compete when?
Super fight. Come on, let's get you a super fight.
Listen, I'll do it. I'm game for whenever.
I'll get you a super fight against Alex Davis.
Alex Davis. Listen, Alex Davis doesn't want any of this smoke, man.
Bro, I saw him the other day. So I went to Cara de Zapato's gym opening.
That's right. Yeah.
That's a really nice gym, man.
Right?
Yeah,
In
it's
Del Rey?
West Del Rey. You
Okay,
definitely dig it. It's a cool spot. But Alex was there, and Alex actually is going to be teaching judo in there. So I
okay,
saw him, and like him and Junior Dos Santos were kind of like beefing back and forth a little bit.
really.
And listen, Alex, give Alex
Alex is
all the
legit.
credit. He's
Listen, he's
legit.
legit.
He's legit, man. He was I saw him rolling against like a couple of people, and I saw him sprawl out like, holy shit. Like, listen, like I said it, I'm not gonna lie to you. I said it, I was like, wherever you get your acai from, please let me know so I can get it. So when I get your age, I can sprawl like that.
Listen, but here's the thing that a lot of people don't know about Alex Davis. Alex Davis is a high-level judoka.
He is no joke. Cause listen, he was grabbing grips on Dos Santos, and he was having a hard time getting them off, man.
And Alex Davis is a high-level judoka. You know, um, man, I would hate to quote and say that he was a Brazilian national judo champ. I'm not sure, but if he wasn't, he was close to do
Yeah.
so. But yeah, man, Alex has done judo,
So it sounds like
hardcore
you're in.
judo for a long time.
Sounds like you're in.
I'm in. I'm game. Listen, but trust me, Alex doesn't want any of the smoke because all I will say is this. I know a couple of years back he had a little bit of a leg injury. You can ask him about that.
Man, you're oh. Are we getting inside gym shit talking? Is that what we're getting?
Hold
So
on,
wait.
let me stretch a little.
So it sounds to me like you are aware of whom may have done the injury.
On the air, I will not confirm or deny.
Man,
Just ask.
that part has been redacted from this document, evidently. Jesus. No, man, there's I mean, it'd be cool to have you on there. Like, we definitely got to get you like some kind of like match and stuff. That'd be kind of
Yeah, man. You know, and actually, I wanted to compete at the upcoming Pan Ams, but you know, to be honest, I have not been training as I should be. You know, for an event like the Pan Ams, even though I'm a master of and you know, but you know, again, I like competing. I'm one of those people. I do jiu-jitsu because I like it, and for me, it is kind of therapeutical and it keeps my body moving at my age. But I also do like competition.
So what do you think? What do you think about when they made the switch over to Florida?
For the Pan Ams?
Yeah.
Oh man, I was hyped. I was excited. I even told some friends that I was like, dude, let's go. I have some mats here at home, and but it's just like, you know, little injury here, little injury there, and you know, I try to baby it, and I can't go as savage as I used to. And
A little PRP.
Yeah,
A little PRP, and be good to
so,
go.
yeah, right. But yeah, I just haven't. I honestly have not trained the way that I should, especially, you know, to be able to dedicate. Yeah. I would be upset with myself if I would go into the Pan Ams unprepared.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hear you. I was gonna compete, and I had every opportunity to, and then it was one of those things. The second that they're like, "It's coming to Florida," it's like perfect, cool. I get 1 week of hard training in, and all of a sudden, like everything just came shitting down like a storm. It's like, all right,
It happens, man. It happens.
yeah, listen, it is what it is. You know what's funny? Actually, I meant to tell you. So we're both avid lovers of weaponry. And funny enough, remember I contacted you like if you knew any good like sling bags or something like that to carry.
That's
and stuff.
Right. Yes.
So I got one. I found one pretty good, cheap, $20. Check it out.
Yeah.
So and I'm not trying to sell. I'm just trying to set up the story, right?
Okay, I have a similar bag to that. Yeah.
Right. Super simple. I mean, I wish there was one that would fit like my gi, that had everything like just fit the gi and fit like my carry, and we're good to go. Now get this. So I've been wearing it now for my own mental safety as a responsible owner. I've just been carrying, at least not anymore. I was carrying with like just blanks, blanks, just to get used to like to carrying it this way and like whatever. Obviously not anymore. Anyway, fast forward to today. I go to Publix, grab something real quick, and I notice this gentleman, older gentleman, wearing t-shirt face mask, like literally just a piece of t-shirt tied around, goggles, and a face shield. I'm like, damn, this guy is definitely, he bit the bullet on the paranoia train. All right, cool. Get it. Like, be safe, whatever you got to do.
Whatever he
100%.
has to do for him, right?
Right. I'm 100% for it, man, whichever side you're on. So when I park out in the boonies, right? Get my stuff, walk all the way out there. There's nobody next to me. Get in the car, and all of a sudden the car pulls up next to me. I'm like, oh, geez. Mind my own business, but I can't stand when people have to park next to you. All of a sudden I hear a honk, and I turn, and it's the guy. It's the old guy. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like the last person I would randomly think would come up to my car, and he's like, wants to talk to me. So I rolled the window down. I'm like, what's up? He's like, hey, I noticed you're carrying that backpack on there. I was like, ah, shit. Like, yeah. He's like, oh, what are you carrying there? Like, you don't ask that question to somebody. You don't ask. It's none of your business what I'm carrying in my bag. I was like, just my wallet and my cell phone. And it's like, I could tell he was trying to pry it out of me kind of thing. He's like, oh, well, is that more comfortable for you because I have to carry all this stuff? I'm like, it's more comfortable than the two, like whatever sling, like bag, whatever, like a regular backpack. Yeah. And it's easier. I just slide it over and I grab my wallet and I'm good to go. And he keeps like prying and prying. He's like, well, what can you fit in there? I'm like, bro, don't worry about what I can fit in my fucking bag, man. So, and it keeps going. And I'm like, and I'm trying to be polite. The guy's like 80 something years old.
Okay.
Listen, I'm telling you, it gets better. Just stick with me. So I was like, listen, whatever I need to carry, like personal effects in that bag is fine. I can carry it and I don't feel it. And it's easy access. That's all I say. And he's like, do you know where I could get a rifle? I'm like, what?
Go to Bass Pro Shop, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, no. Well, so it was really like, right. So the leeway, he's like, oh, could I get that at Walmart? I was like, no, man, I got it at Amazon, $20. Like the only place you're going to find something like this is like maybe at a gun store, 511 Tactical, or like Bass Pro Shop. We're going to get a rifle. I'm like, there's a gun show this weekend, man. Go to the gun show. Like, what do you want me to tell you? Like, yo, here you go. I got one out back. Let me grab one for you.
Let me pull the one I have in the trunk.
Right. So I'm like, I'm just selling him the bag. I'm like, listen, I love this bag. Got everything I need in here. Whatever you want. Like, it's all in there. You can put your mask. You can put whatever the hell you want on there. So then he keeps on prying. It's like, where can I get a rifle? Where can I get a rifle? I'm like, dude, you're going to have to go to the gun show or go to Bass Pro Shop. Like, I don't know anything about selling guns. Unfortunately, like I could make a sale right now. So he's like, all right, cool, thanks, whatever. He's like, oh, what do you do for a living? I'm like, shit, man, just let me go, dude. Like, this is like honestly been like 20-minute conversation. And he's like, what do you do? I'm like, I do marketing. He's like, oh, what do you do marketing for? I'm like, fuck. I just set myself up for the continuing conversation. I'm like, I do marketing for MMA fighters and music artists. He's like, oh, MMA, what's that? I'm like, God damn it. Why does he keep on finding another question? So I'm like, you know, like those guys in the cage? He's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, those are friends of mine. I train with them and like I help them out with like marketing and stuff. He's like, oh, well, you just marketed that bag for me. I'm like, I don't get paid for that. This is where it gets good. Because that wasn't enough. He goes, so you do that stuff? I'm like, yeah, I do some jiu-jitsu and some Muay Thai and stuff. Like, you know, I'm not really MMA. He's like, oh, well, I started learning Kung Fu.
Awesome.
I was like, that's what I said. I was like, oh, that's great. You know, good for you. Anything to stay active, stay healthy, you know, it's good for you. He's like, yeah, I've been learning it off of YouTube. I'm actually getting pretty good. I was like, ah, shit. Like, are you for real? This is where the conversation.
Phenomenal. That's awesome.
I was like, this is where the fucking conversation is going to. I was like, well, I'm like, listen, as long as you're staying active, it's good. I'm like,
that's it, man.
Are you like doing it for, because obviously you brought up the gun and stuff. I'm like, are you doing it for self-defense or exercise? He's like, oh, you know, a little bit of both, a little self-defense. I was like, listen, you don't want to do Kung Fu for self-defense. I'm going to let you know right now. I was like, at your age, you can still do jiu-jitsu. Do jiu-jitsu. He's like, what do you think is the best martial art for self-defense? I'm like, a gun. It's like a gun. And if you don't have a gun, go learn jiu-jitsu. He was like, oh, okay, even in my age? I was like, yep. He's like, well, I have a bat in the back. I'm like, why are we doing this? Why are we having this conversation? I was like, I said, you know what? You go old school, take the bat, and we're good to go.
That's it, bro. Pop them right in the knees.
Good. I was like,
one finger food.
they're like, I was sitting there the whole time. I'm like, I cannot wait to tell Carlos this story.
That's
Because it
awesome.
just started over this stupid freaking bag that I've been bugging people
Listen,
about.
man, listen, this is the thing, you know. I understand that the law is concealed carry. There's nothing about your little sling bag that is very concealed, other than that it's a wrapping around.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what do you
Are
mean?
you saying that it's
A little
obvious?
511 tactical little bag, you know,
No.
satchel, you know, easy access right here, you know.
I mean, that's subtle, right? That's not
I
blatant.
told you, hey, listen, I told you, don't hate on the fanny pack.
Listen, if I see someone carrying a fanny pack, I either think he does not have his shit together or he's carrying a gun.
Fanny pack, man. Listen, I'm an 80s kid. It's a fanny pack.
Listen, but you don't have like the bright neon.
Fanny pack.
If I get you
a big ass cell phone fits in there. My wallet, I'm an old guy. My wallet is like 4 inches thick with receipts in it. I ain't got no money. It's all receipts and old business cards from 1990.
You keep doing this. I think you're gonna like say like I got my Tums.
I do have Tums.
So all right. So you're telling me that bag just makes it obvious.
A little bit.
How about like ever since I got that bag and I started carrying that bag, the more like crazy shit starts happening like around me left and right.
My point exactly.
Nah, that's all right. I mean, listen, maybe I have something in there, maybe I don't. Maybe that's just where I keep my gummy bears when I'm traveling.
That's it. Listen, don't hate this. I'm a connoisseur of gummy bears.
Listen, I got a trick.
You don't get this body by not eating gummy bears.
I got a trick for you for gummy bears that will blow your mind. What's your favorite type of gummy bear?
They're actually called Albanese gummy bear. That is
I know what you're talking about.
Unpaid commercial advertisement. Albanese gummy bears, the best gummy bears in the world, and they're actually made in the USA, in Gary, Indiana. Actually, not. They're in Maryville, Indiana.
Listen, I'm gonna have to go foreign on this one. It's the Hasbro.
Trash.
Hasbro gummies. Listen, the Coca-Cola gummies.
Overrated.
The Coca-Cola gummies are amazing. But
overrated.
Listen, next time you get a bag of your gummy bears, like when you have the last like 5 or 6, just leave them on the dash of your car for like an hour. Let them get melted in the sun.
Albanese, you don't have to do that. They're already soft and gushy.
No, it's got nothing to do with that. It completely changes the flavor into something. Right. It will blow your mind. Just to leave like 4 or 5, so you're not wasting a bag. All right, yeah. Just leave like 4 or 5. Call me in the morning.
Gummy bear story. I got a great gummy bear story. I know a very well-known jiu-jitsu competitor, world-class, top 5 in his weight class in the world, and who's also a gummy bear fan. And after a tournament, he was like, man, I need some sugar. I'm tired. Oh, man, gummy bears. Let me have some gummy bears. And he pops a handful of gummy bears. Little did he know, this was not your standard gummy bear. 20 minutes later, he's feeling all kinds of loopy and a little crazy. He's like, dude, I don't feel good. What's going on? Now, they were not my gummy bears. There was somebody else's gummy bears. But, yeah, man, little did he know, this guy's, he doesn't drink and, he doesn't go out. He just, all he does is jiu-jitsu and teach and, But, ended up being tore up by some devil's gummy bears.
Oh man, you gotta at least say who it is now.
No, that's his story, and that's his right to tell people if he wants to tell it or not. But facts.
If you ever want to really,
this is why I don't eat other people's gummy bear. I will buy my own bag of Albanese gummy bears.
I don't share gummy bears. Sorry. If you want a good laugh,
don't put your dirty paws on my gummy bears. I will give you some if you want.
No, don't share.
I'll buy you a bag if you want to.
If you want a good laugh, look up the reviews for sugar-free gummy bears on Amazon. They have been documented and well known to give you explosive diarrhea.
Awesome.
So there's just like pages and pages of the most hilarious reviews on it.
I think it's a waste of time. If you're gonna get gummy bears, I might as well get them regular sugar.
Why would you get sugar free? No. Like
Sugar.
if you're a wise man once said
that's just anti-American and communist.
Right? No. A wise man once said if you're gonna walk on ice, you might as well dance.
That's right.
Just go for it. Screw that.
That's
so
right.
have you had a chance to go out and shoot?
Yeah, man. You know, I have a couple of really good ranges around here, and I have one that I really like, and they have an indoor 100-meter yard.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to me. They have an indoor 100 yard.
So you were in the Marines, huh? All right.
All right. But they have an indoor 100 yards, which I like. You know, it's real chilled, and usually not a lot of people use the long range. Well, long 100 yards long, whatever. But there's also another one near Kissimmee that they have. It's outdoors, and they have a 300-yard range.
Yeah, I know exactly the one that you're talking about.
So, you know, I like it. You know, I've been out there a couple of times. It's fun, man. And listen, I like putting rounds down range a couple of times, and you know, and I got a buddy of mine. He's closer to the Georgia-Florida border, and we go plinking up there, and you know, get
That's
some
awesome.
hogs.
I gotta get the whole ammo shortage right now has been absolutely like insane. Like
whenever you can find it, you know, they jack up those prices real quick. So
they had
$2 per round.
There was a box of like 9mm for a box of 50 for $55. I'm like, I'm not paying $1 a round for 9mm.
For 9mm. Yeah.
Like that's crazy. Like
you
it was almost
buy wholesale, like you know, the 500 bucket round rounds online. Everybody's out, huh?
Everybody's out, and like listen, even the Tula ammo, like that's gone. When that's even gone, like you know it's bad if people are buying that ammo.
Well, you know, people buying competition ammo just to have ammo at home. So we had one of the local stores that I usually go to here, and they're usually pretty well stocked. They were limiting the 9mm. They were limiting for 3 boxes per person per day. So if you wanted to buy, you know, 9 boxes, you had to come
back and forth.
3-day increment. Yeah.
No, like here it's nothing. Like shelves are empty. I think the only thing you'll be able to pick up is like shotgun ammo. But I mean, I've been wanting to go shooting like, man, for the last like 6 months. It's been like killing me. Like, cause I was practicing. I had actually like an instructor and stuff was teaching me. The guy's insane, man. The guy was like full on Mel Gibson, Lethal Weapon 1, like shoot. Like it was crazy. It was so crazy. He's like, no, just do this, and this. Like all of a sudden I was like actually shooting targets like on point.
Nice.
It's like, he was like, yeah, no, it's not that hard. So he puts like 4 dots, just like in a clock pattern on the target, sends it off, bam, 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 like nothing. He's just doing this, just bullseye on the little like 1-inch dots every time. I'm like, all right, I get the point, bud. Like you're good. Like now get me to that point. So like ever since then, I'm like, I gotta practice, but good luck with that. You're not getting ammo. But I was gonna say next time we go up there, go shoot.
Man, you know, like you know, jiu-jitsu, you can drill by yourself, you can drill with a buddy, but unfortunately, you know, if you're gonna go out there and to get good at it and get proficient, you gotta burn ammo, man.
Yeah, you gotta burn ammo, and you gotta definitely have someone that knows what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, and you gotta learn how to be proficient, you know, with whatever weapon. Every weapon is different. So.
We got to go to the laser tag place up in Orlando. That's they give you have you seen it? The one that they give you like realistic guns?
Yeah.
We got to go up there.
I haven't been. So
oh, come on. Let's do a little end of the year party. We'll get a nice solid group of non-COVID havers and we'll go shooting each other. Or airsoft.
You know, the range that I like to go to is called Shooting World.
Yeah.
And they'll rent you full submachine guns, Uzis, you know, the saws, the whole thing. They'll rent you a 50 cal, you know, so.
Do they have that giant elephant gun?
Yeah, the 50 cals. Yeah.
No. We're talking about the ones like you see like the YouTube videos where like the round is this big, not the 50 cal, not like the Bushmaster or whatever. Like we're talking about like literally the round is like this.
Oh no. I haven't seen it. I wouldn't be surprised. This place is is pretty big. It's a little bougie, but
Right.
I don't like, again, if for a place that is nice, neat, clean,
Yeah.
and safe, and I don't mind paying a little extra.
No, I
So
agree. Like there's some bad videos. You never seen the videos of the guys like shooting like the rifle, and like all of a sudden it comes like flying back and they like smash into the wall and stuff. You never seen that? Dude, I gotta send you the clip. You're gonna like spend the night crying laughing then. Oh, it's great. I show it to my dad every once in a while and he's just like falls on the floor laughing.
I seen some people do some stupid stuff in the
Yeah.
range, and the range officer just coming running and yelling at them.
Yeah, there's a guy
People not putting their ball stuck in their shoulder, putting it over their shoulder, and having the scope right in the eyeball.
oh, I love
That's
that.
how you become a pirate.
That's one of my favorites. No, I've seen them all. The best is when the guys are trying to be like John Wayne and just hold it one arm. They have no clue.
Funny thing is, in the Marines one time, we were shooting and we were using 45s at the time, and we we literally had a guy. Oh yeah, I know how to shoot this, and grabs his piece sideways. Like, man, this is not Boys in the Hood. Oh man, he caught hell for that. So
They got his.
I've seen some people do some pretty interesting stuff.
But it's funny because I've never walked into like a shooting range, even though like I'm comfortable. Like I've never walked in there like I know what the hell is going on. Like I just super safe. Like just I'm here to learn, like here to practice. So when I see some of these people like taking their dates, they go, "Oh yeah, babe, I'll take you out shooting." I'm like, listen, this man is gonna get you shot. You need to whatever you're doing. Like you look at what you're handing. You're about to shoot your own finger off. Don't listen to this guy. He has no clue.
Listen, my daughter is 11, and
She's a killer shot.
We can give you. She will give you the rundown of your 12 cardinal rules of shooting, and proper breathing and proper eyesight, and yeah, she enjoys it. So that's
Yeah.
cool. I don't push it on her. She's like, whenever she's like, "Hey dad, can we go to the range?" Absolutely can. Practice social distancing at its finest.
Yeah, right. No, that's awesome though. She's a good shot too. I remember you posted like photos of the targets. Like she's like you're not gonna want to mess with this girl. It's bad enough she knows jujitsu.
I didn't post that stuff. I just, but yeah, she's a pretty good crack shot. And actually, the one that I sent you was 100 meters standing.
Not bad.
Yeah,
Not bad.
yeah.
What kind of scope do you have?
I have Jesus, I forget which one I have on the one that I took her with. I have one of my pieces has a Romeo 5, and the other one I have a ×7, but I forget which scope. I just bought a new one. It's a fairly inexpensive scope, but it's ×7 magnitude, and it does the job for.
We'll have to talk scopes later because I got to get one at some point for my AR. So listen, the B2 tournament. You said you're gonna have kids, right?
Yes,
you're gonna have the kids bracket.
Adults, male, females, in between.
Are they gonna have the same rule set as well for the kids?
Well, we have the rules for the kids. Obviously, some of the things are modified. Kids are not to jump guard. They cannot jump guard. Pull guards with a guillotine. They have to sit to guard, and things like that. And again, also the referee staff. One of the things that I always tell them, and I make this very clear even before the event begins, I rather err in the side of caution, especially with the kids. Kids tend to be more flexible and actually tougher than adults, and they'll take that pain and get the arm hyperextended. So I rather for the kids to, be cautious, come back another day, don't get injured, because then now you're going to have swelling and you're not going to be out of practice. And so, the refereeing staff is very well aware of all those things. And there's some adjustments for the kids.
So for the adults, are you going to allow spider guard, like jumping to, or like scissor sweep jump there?
No scissor sweeps.
Yeah.
But jump guard, absolutely.
I mean, I know those no-gi guys, the 10th Planet guys are going to be all about that scissor sweep takedown.
But if you're gonna do scissor sweeps, you better sign up on the expert edition.
Right, but I'm saying, are you going to allow for expert? Like, is it?
Why not?
Man, I haven't seen one of those done in a tournament in a while.
You saw one, Gary Tonon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that was like ADCC, and that was it. It's like when he did that, everyone just went.
Tried in a couple other events after that, but it's a tricky takedown because if you do it wrong,
Oh, you're
you
ending
can
careers.
really injure the person.
Yeah.
And and if you're if you make the mistake of being too cautious, then it can become very ineffective.
Yeah.
And now you're on bottom.
Yeah, the one thing about it, because I used to do it a lot for capoeira. That's like a standard thing for capoeira.
Right.
And we come in from far. It's not like we're standing side like you have like an over under and you jump in. Like, no, you are coming in like full speed ahead.
Oh yeah, you use the body weight to pop that knee there. Yeah.
So like it's kind of funny to me that it's one of those things that it's so many mistakes happen with jiu-jitsu, because man, I can't think of how I can't think of anybody really coming in like and messing it up in capoeira. Yeah. Just because I think you know what it is it's a different approach to the martial art, and it's not really so much of like you're playing down to stay on the floor. Like capoeira, it's like it's a big takedown. Let's get back up. Yeah, you go for the takedown. Like if you were like fighting for real, like you'll slap the crap out of somebody, but you get the takedown and you move away, like not jiu-jitsu. So like you're gonna try and be low anyway. But oh man, that's good. I'm loving that.
Yeah. So on the expert division, absolutely, yeah. Do your Kanibasan scissor takedown, and then catch the reverse side heel hook and rip away.
Are you having like a limit to how many people can enter?
I don't. Yes. But I don't think we'll reach the limit, just on the fact that I know there's still a lot of people hesitant. No, listen, I'm realistic. I'm sensible and realistic about things. And I know a lot of people are still hesitant because of the COVID. I've had a lot of people ask me, oh, the competitors have to wear a mask. No, the referees will be wearing masks. Yes. But no, the competitors, while you're competing, no. And once you remove yourself out of the mat, then obviously we make the suggestion that you do.
So for the people that aren't like that familiar with the layout of Florida, like how far is it from the parks?
It is from the parks, I would say, it's about 30 minutes at the most.
That's not far. That's not far.
It's actually at the Florida Mall.
Yeah.
The Florida Mall has a hotel that is attached to it, and the hotel has a beautiful, huge convention center. 10,000 square foot facility, multiple bathrooms. It's really, really comfortable.
That's that giant freaking mall, right? Right off the interstate or whatever it is. Am I thinking the same one?
No, I think you're thinking about the Millennium Mall.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm thinking
the Millennium Mall is a little bit bougie.
Yeah. So
a little Florida Ferrari Mall stuff. Is actually a little bit on the other spectrum of the world. No, but it's
a nice place.
Actually, a regular. It's a regular mall, something comparable to, I would say, like, actually, I would say a little nicer than the Broward Mall, something like the Wellington Mall.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. I think the real comparison is that the Millennium Mall is a tourist mall.
Right.
The Florida Mall is like
in Millennium Mall, you have Cartier, Louis Vuitton. Yeah. This is just a regular mall with the regular stores that you find anywhere, but it has actually the hotel was rated top 10.
Yeah.
In Orlando. And think about how many hotels are in Orlando because of the tourism, but it was rated top 7 in Orlando. And they have a full service convention center attached to it. We have special rates for people that want to stay over the night. It's I want to say it's about $90 per room. And the hotel was complete during the COVID. They took advantage and they refurbish and remodel all their rooms. So new floorings, new everything.
So listen, let me give you guys a little advice for people that don't understand what's going on. Book a hotel, stay there Friday, Saturday, get your weigh-ins done on Friday so you don't have to worry about it. You can stay there Saturday night, go to the park Sunday, go home. Listen, you got a whole weekend and you get to compete.
That's all right.
Win or lose, you still get to have fun. That's a whole setup. That's a perfect setup.
That's the idea. Again, remember when I said I want everybody to have a good time.
Listen, I just need to make sure that discount goes with the presidential suite. All right. Because we're gonna get the presidential suite.
That's right.
I am going to be the camera
with a
guy.
with a heart-shaped hub tub and a spinning bed.
Listen, we got to celebrate somehow. Listen, all right. I'll invite you over to jacuzzis. I got the beer. We're good to go. Well, who's bothering you?
Yeah.
Man, I'm excited. I was excited. It's funny, like when you posted it up, I was like, this fucking guy wasn't gonna tell me. Like I was like texting you, what's going on? I was like, hey, buddy. So what are you gonna have? How many mat spaces and stuff?
8.
Oh, you're going all out.
Yeah, we have. I mean, this is the thing. We are broadcasting the whole event. We have 8 mats. We have a full production service. Again, these guys come from a production background. They've put over total combined over 200 MMA shows throughout the Midwest.
So who's streaming it? They're streaming it?
B2, and it'll be streamed on all our social medias, and they have their own YouTube channel, so you can check some of the past matches on the YouTube. We had Chris Lytle in one of the super fights,
right,
at our first event, which is pretty cool. You're looking at, one of the big names in the early UFCs, and a legend in the Midwest when it comes to mixed martial arts. And man, he jumped in there with, a local brown belt, and, just to have some fun.
So that intermission that you were talking about, I think you should have Jiu-Jitsu Radio do an intermission podcast.
We can.
We'll just sit there in the middle. We'll just have a podcast, interview a couple of the people. That'd be kind of fun, actually.
We can.
That would be, yeah. Listen, I'm not trying to commandeer your show or anything. I'm just saying. It actually would be kind of fun to have an intermission like show.
And I agree 100% with you.
Just don't feed Shawn. Please don't feed Shawn.
Listen, I gotta feed the man.
No, just give him water. That guy is just.
You see him all the time. He has no intention of cutting any weight. I gotta feed.
Listen, that's not true. I give the man credit. He did lose a bunch of weight. He just was giving me all this bullshit about like, oh yeah, I'm doing the what's it called? Like the fasting. Yeah, do some intermittent fasting. Then he walks in here with like a iced Coolada from Dunkin' Donuts or like a big gulp of soda. So he goes, just Diet Coke.
I'll get him a pumpkin spice latte.
Oh, you guys are gross. I can't even look at that thing. I can't even smell that stuff without getting gross.
I'll get him a pumpkin spice latte on tacos.
Oh man. He just needs a beer. That's what he needs. He needs to man up and drink beer.
I don't think we want to see him drunk on beer.
You definitely want to. Definitely. Listen, I don't.
This is his old stomping grounds. Isn't it UCF alumni?
I think so. Yeah. You never heard the story that Shawn only drinks once a year?
No.
You've never heard this?
No, I have not.
Good. Because I'll tell you the real story. He'll give you the bullshit story. Shawn only drinks once a year, and that's Oktoberfest. That's like his thing. Shawn is I love the guy. He's a very quirky guy. He likes to have these little things that makes him Shawn, which is awesome. So when I found out that his thing is I only drink once a year and it's Oktoberfest, I'm like, I'm getting this man. Fuck that. This man is going to die tonight. Like, you are not made to party with me, my friend. So first year we did Oktoberfest, I went all out. I made pretzel necklaces and stuff, and I brought it in. And he's like, the hell's this bullshit? What are we're gonna wear this? I'm like, listen, bud, you're gonna want that. Trust me. Well, okay, whatever. So we get there. I have my own Stein. I have my own Stein. I let him borrow mine. So add to that, one of his friends worked at the booth at the American German Club here. So he was hooking it up with drinks. So it was we weren't even paying, and he was just sitting there filling up Steins. So Shawn's drinking heavy. So think about it, someone his size who's never drank, really drank, so has no tolerance, and he's doing it on an empty stomach. Oh. So we're about an hour in, and he's like, you still got that pretzel necklace? Now you want to jump in on this train? I'm like, here you go. I saved it for you. So I give him the necklace. So this grown ass man is walking around, munching on the pretzel necklace, drinking some more. So we keep going, man. We got there. I want to say we got there 5, 6 o'clock. And we were drinking the whole time. We're having a blast. We weren't hammering down, but We were drinking a lot. I was making sure he was somewhat keeping up with me. So we go back. I drop him off at his house. Mind you, I was all sobered up. We didn't it wasn't getting wasted. And I leave him, and he's like, you could tell he's got that drunk face at his house. Yeah. And like his wife at the time wasn't home. So he's just sitting there in his chair, happy as shit. And I'm like, you all right, bud? He's like, yeah. No, I'm good. So I go, I grab him like a bottle of water. I was like, all right, man. Well, I'll call you up. I'll check up on you in the morning and see how you're doing. And then like I left, and on the way home, I'm like, something tells me I shouldn't have left him by himself like that. Like, I don't think he's gonna be able to hang. Next morning, I call him up, like, how you doing, buddy? He's like, I have the worst hangover. He's like, as soon as you left, I ran outside and I threw up all in the backyard.
Oh, man.
So he'll only drink once a year, and he needs to toughen up and drink. I think we got him down to like St. Patty's Day and Oktoberfest.
Okay.
But no, that man needs a drink. He needs a beer. He needs a beer. That's for sure.
Maybe he just needs to, get it going with like Miller High Life or, Miller Light, something like that.
Listen, don't hate on Miller High Life. First of all, I love that beer. It's an amazing beer. And you know what's the best part? Here's the craziest part, right? So Shawn,
champagne of beers, right?
No, listen. This was the weirdest thing. I've never ever seen this, and I could not explain it to you for the life of me. But for whatever reason, someone must have hit him up with the Spanish fly like that night, because every single girl, every single woman that we were passing by was just checking him out, or like wolf whistling him, like, or making comments to him. I'm not joking. I am not exaggerating. When we were done, we were walking. I'm basically like herding his fat cattle, like drunk ass, back to the car. And this girl's like sticks her head out of the car. Give me some of that, big boy. And he's like, was that to me? I'm like, yeah, man, that's to you. And like girls were walking by just staring down. I was like, are you seeing this? Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. So listen,
he's a bear.
Drunk Shawn gets all the ladies. He won't talk to them, but drunk Shawn gets all the ladies. And I'm not even joking. Like I was there. If you would have told me that story, I'd be like, okay, how much did he pay you to tell me?
That's all.
I'm bringing him with me to Orlando, and after the tournament, we're drinking. Just letting you know.
The only way I want him around here if he wears the little American flag speedo and does the dances.
Oh no, you want Shawn in the tutu.
You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen that guy that does the dances with the American speedo?
Yeah. No, I'm sure he'd do it too.
He looks just like him too.
Yeah. No, but what you want is Shawn in the tutu with the shake weight. Google that one. And yes, there is a video of that. So awesome. Google that. Listen, man, I know it's getting late. You got to head out. B2, if someone wants to check out more information, wants to sign up and everything, where would they go?
B2grapplingseries.com, B2grappling.com. And, you could check our Instagram, which, again, is B2 Grappling Series, and our Facebook, B2 Grappling Series. We keep it simple.
So definitely make sure you guys are following the Instagram, just because, like we said, they are updating all the information, right? So there's going to be constant updates leading up to the tournament. So you do not want to miss out on any information. I don't want to hear any excuses. I didn't know the rules.
And listen, I know it's Florida, but guys, don't wait to the last minute to sign up. Don't wait. I don't understand why. And that's a Florida thing. I've noticed. I've worked nationwide. I worked internationally in grappling events, and that's just like a Florida thing. Everybody waits to the last week.
Listen, almost 20 years in the music industry, and Florida is hands down the worst. There's not a single person that'll tell you otherwise. Florida is hands down the worst for an event. Like, they do the best at walk up, but when it comes to events, I think it's safe to say that everybody in Florida has like commitment issues, is what it is.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, but no, listen, don't skip out on it. If you're worried about like anything, or you have any questions, just hit them up. Have some questions about, like, what are what are you guys doing? Like, what are the policies, whatever, just hit them up, ask questions. Obviously we get Carlos here. Like you hear all the crazy questions I ask them. They're going to sit there and help you out. It's called customer service. They got it.
That's
You're good
it,
to
man.
go. We're going to have to talk about your scorecard though. We're going to have to talk about your scoring system. That's
My
a whole
scoring
different.
system's easy, man.
It's a whole different conversation. I'm not doing that one on the air. We're having that one off the air. So listen, guys, make sure you follow B2 Grappling. Go on Instagram. We're gonna have all the links and everything at the bottom of the video on YouTube and under the podcast description. And if you want to stalk Carlos, you can stalk Carlos, but he keeps himself pretty private. So I'll let him drop the IG if you want to go ahead and stalk that sexy beast.
Listen, you can stalk me. That's okay. It's going to be Los Diaz 2531.
And send him like weird questions. Ask him like the weirdest questions. Just send him random DMs.
Feel free. It's very simple. Delete.
Just delete. Oh, I thought you guys said just forward to Shawn. Forward to Shawn.
Forward
straight to that. All right, brother. Thank you very much for doing this, man. Love you. Thank you.
Thank
I always love having you on here. And we'll catch up some more before the tournament and get some more shit talking going.
Awesome.
All right. Take care, brother.
You too.